Hello, I'm Mark from Moonstone Publications. Welcome to this overview of some of the stories we've covered over the past week. But first, please hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Coming up in this week's update, ASISA responds to Treasury's tax proposals for collective investment schemes. Ensure your direct marketing practices are PAPIA compliant. Accountable institutions supervised by the Financial Intelligence Center must submit their RMCPs. Frequent fund switching is undermining investors' returns. A High Court ruling reinforces SARS's ability to obtain repatriation orders. And Santam's earnings surge despite troubling weather and vehicle claims. The Association for Savings and Investment South Africa says simplicity, certainty, and the preservation of the savings-orientated status quo should underpin the way in which collective investment schemes are taxed. National Treasury released a discussion document at the end of last year proposing changes to how CIS income is taxed, reigniting the debate over whether it should be treated as capital gains or ordinary income. ASISA rejects the notion that a CIS portfolio initially offered to the public as an approved investment vehicle can later be reclassified as a profit-making scheme. Permitting such reclassification will introduce complexity, uncertainty, and tax risks that confuse investors and disrupt portfolio management while deviating from decades of established practice. Direct marketing remains a key driver for business growth, offering direct access to audiences. However, with the Protection of Personal Information Act and the Information Regulator's recent guidance note on direct marketing, businesses must ensure their strategies comply with regulations to avoid fines or reputational damage. Moonstone Compliance is hosting a webinar on the 12th of March, led by privacy law expert Andrea de Jong. Attendees will learn how to evaluate their current practices against PAPIA standards, implement necessary changes, and understand the importance of vetting third-party suppliers when purchasing leads. Accountable institutions under the supervision of the Financial Intelligence Center must submit a copy of their risk management and compliance program by the close of business on the 12th of March. The affected institutions will receive a formal instruction letter detailing the submission process via the FIX web platform. The entities covered by the directive include legal practitioners, trust and company service providers, estate agents, credit providers, high-value goods dealers, and crypto asset service providers. Financial services providers, which fall under the FSCA supervision, are not included in this request. Momentum Investments' latest sci-fi report cautions investors against the pitfalls of frequent fund switching, known as behavior tax. This phenomenon, which measures the lost returns when switching between funds, continues to cost investors more than 3% annually. Last year alone, those on the Momentum Wealth platform saw a cumulative loss of about 60 million rand due to these decisions. Paul Nixon, the head of behavioural finance at Momentum, says market volatility often leads investors to overreact in the short term. Nixon suggests that understanding one's investments builds the conviction needed to withstand temporary price fluctuations, a principle that stands in contrast to the urge to switch funds impulsively. A recent High Court ruling confirms that SARS can repatriate foreign assets to settle tax debts, provided all legal requirements are met. The judgment upholds the constitutionality of key provisions in the Tax Administration Act, including those related to third-party liability and asset repatriation. Tax and exchange control specialist Louis Buerta explains that while SARS's powers are not unlimited, The court found that the measures, such as restricting a taxpayer's travel and requiring passport surrender, are justified when necessary to secure tax payments. The ruling also clarifies that repatriation orders may only be issued when there are insufficient assets in South Africa to cover outstanding debts. Santam, South Africa's leading short-term insurer, reported strong financial results for 2024, despite a stagnant economy and a challenging claims environment. Headline earnings per share rose by 51%, bolstered by a 58% increase in conventional insurance earnings. The company's two largest insurance segments, motor and property, were notably affected by claims. Motor repair costs outpaced headline inflation, prompting Santam to collaborate with stakeholders to manage long-term expenses. In the property segment, the frequency and severity of weather-related claims have steadily increased over the past decade. That's all we have for this week. You can read these stories and many more on our website, moonstone.co.za. Until next time, here's wishing you all the best from the team at Moonstone Information Refinery.